Oh. Did that... Oh. Oh, I love it when buttons actually work. There we go. There we go. Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. It's your boy, YuuriVoice. And I am joined by Thea and Thu. Hello, friends.
Hello. Hi, chat.
Hi.
How's everybody doing today? Are you super excited to get some updates? Because I know I'm really excited to give them to you.
I'm really anxious.
There's two types of people.
There are two wolves inside of you.
There we go.
One is anxious, one is masking.
I had to jiggle the handle on the YouTube chat. I think we're good now.
Very good. Hi, friends. Good to see you.
I love a doorbell going off the moment I start a stream.
Big Mong.
I get anything cool in the mail?
It's you know, it's more house stuff.
Okay.
I've been so many boxes.
So many
boxes. Yeah, and then let me know if my microphone's ever kind of off because I'm reading on my second monitor, so I'm kind of angled away, but I can get closer.
You sound good, I think. Chat?
Good deal.
Thoughts?
Do I sound amazing?
That's OUGHTS.
Oh. I was like, what are you spelling?
So I wanted chat to know that I wasn't calling them thoughts.
I mean,
please
it's
scream
the
into
shoe
the mic.
fit.
No scream, Purple.
No scream,
That's not
please.
nice.
It's only noon.
It's
I don't have the energy for scream yet.
We only scream once it's past 5 p.m.
I mean, I will probably scream once the stream ends.
Okay, we only scream into the microphone after 5 p.m.
Okay.
Central time, specifically.
That's fair.
Otherwise, we gotta keep it chill. You know?
I like how you have to say Central Time because it's just like, yes, Team YuuriVoice only operates in Central Time.
That's right. Blue, don't call me out like this.
We're lucky that Team YuuriVoice operates.
It's true.
It's so true.
Wow. I don't know how I'm operating today. I didn't have any caffeine yet. I ran out of soda, and I haven't gone to the store, and I didn't make a coffee. So I'm stuck with water. Water.
I finished off my chocolate milk and now I'm sad.
Oh, no chalky milk.
No chalky milk. It's just like, oh yes, I'm an adult who can buy a half-gallon of chocolate milk and drink it in a day.
No, I want chalky milk too. That sounds amazing. I reset that. Girl, caffeinate. I'm going to after this. I kind of rolled out of bed. I slept in. I was up a little late. So I slept in and I went, wow, a soda would be nice. Wow, a coffee would be nice. But soda I don't have, and I don't have time to go to the store. And a coffee I'd have to make, and I'm really lazy. And I had things to do. So we just suffer.
Air of Regulus says, we're lucky that Team YuuriVoice operates, has the same energy as This Is a Place. Or this is,
Or this is this is a space, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is true.
I feel like I love we need a bottom text somewhere in there. It's like, I have no chalky milk, bottom text. I have no coffee, bottom text. Yeah, just kind of waiting for folks to roll in.
Yep.
Get on the stream. But yeah, it's been a really busy week. That's a lie. It's been a really busy few months, to be honest. But this week in particular has been, I was gonna say slam banging busy, but that sounds really silly. But I said it. It's been busy. Well, the other thing that I say is hammer fucked, but people are like, what? It's been busy. So yeah. Hi, friends.
All right, I think we're about ready to get this show on the road. So, hi everyone for those of you tuning in, this is we've been working on a zine. Hopefully you already knew about that. This is not a zine announcement as in we're just launching it. This baby is ready. So, well, ready to be pre-ordered. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm so excited to share all this with you. And before we even get going, I have to give a really special shout out to Thea and Thu, who this would not have happened if it wasn't for them doing all the things that I could never pull off. They've busted their ass to make this a thing. So thank you, both of you, for that. And yeah, I'm really excited to share this freaking really awesome project. So yeah, if you don't know what a zine is, you will come to understand very quickly as we get into
I've got
this.
a definition. I'm gonna rattle it off.
All right.
I'm
It's
ready.
a whole presentation.
I
It
have
is.
notes and everything.
This presentation night was actually preparation for this moment. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, Thu, if you want to get us going.
Yeah. First, I'm so excited and also anxious, I guess, as Thea said, but really, really happy that you're all here. Yes, we're tired. Yes, we've all been working hard, but we couldn't have done it without you, our community. So thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah.
Yay! Community is awesome. Bow, 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 bow. All right, I'm gonna jump in, everybody. Okay, so first up, I'm gonna do this in parts, is our project overview. So our team is constantly amazed by the talent of our community. As I said, as we were approaching 100,000 subscribers, that's an insane number, y'all. We decided to organize this zine project, and it is a true labor of love, and A Dance with Dreams was born. So I already saw what's a zine, so we talked about wanting to explain that. So for those who don't know, a zine is short for magazine. You may have seen zines before in fandom circles as collections of artwork, fan fiction, and other media. Thea and I are actually zine collectors. So is Yuri too. You're starting to crack into that as well. Yeah, a zine is a self-published, non-commercial print work that is typically produced in small, limited batches, such as our project for our physical print run. And yeah, so that's what a zine is. That is a zine. It's a book. It's a magazine. It's a softcover thing. So as we progress through this presentation, we're going to talk more about the contents of the zine, our schedule, what products will be available, all sorts of things. We're going to have an FAQ section, frequently asked questions, as well as open it up for Q&A later in the presentation. So we may not answer questions while we're in flight talking through things, but we do have our awesome mod squad tracking some of these questions on a spreadsheet so that we can get those at the end when we open it up for questions. Yeah. And then, as Yuri said, for those who may have missed it, we've already accepted our contributors for this project, and we're here to give updates. So, yeah, I'm gonna hop to the next slide, which I'm super excited for. Why? No, sorry. Why A Dance with Dreams? So, first and foremost, I think this is the moment that many of you have been waiting for since we posted a teaser on Twitter. It's the full zine cover reveal. I'm gonna pop it up. There she is, front and back, baby.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna give it a moment to breathe before I ramble on about it. I think it's breathed. All right, so this gorgeous artwork was supplied by an artist most of you should know by now. It's our lovely Jackie Eleanor. Jackie
Who?
provides. Who is Jackie? Who? Da Vinci? Da Vinci. Jackie provides so much of our channel art. She's super talented, great to work with, and we knew right off the bat we were gonna do whatever we could to get Jackie on the cover art. So thank you, Jackie. You kick ass. We love it. It's beautiful. I'm gonna jump forward here. I've got lots of notes, but I'm gonna hand this. This is gonna be a conversation with the team here. So, Yuri, what's your thought process behind the title of the zine? It's really profound.
I I love I've always loved the thought that like the listener has been in so many scenarios with so many characters, etc. And in the back of my mind, it's always been kind of a dreamy thing. Like it reminds me of dreams because in your dreams you are taken to any number of places. You dream any number of ways, any number of people and things, and acts occur in your dreams. And when I was trying to think of something that fit the storybook kind of vibe we had talked about, I thought of the listener dancing from dream to dream, essentially. And that became easily far and away our favorite of the titles I pitched. And seeing it on the cover there, like, I can't imagine a different name. Like, this is a great title. I love it. And also other reasons why that is the title. If you get the zine, you might understand it a little better.
Spoilers!
I'm just going to pop up the next part because we're kind of talking about things that you might see in the cover art to point out. So when I said that, it's like about the cover, not the cover, the title being profound. I was kind of teasing you because yesterday or whenever we were talking about this presentation, I was like, yeah, I want you to talk about the title. And he's like, I don't know, I love alliteration.
It's true. In our like pre-game, like we talked about how this was gonna go. I was like, oh no. I acted like I was only gonna give like a 5-second answer. But no, an attempt was actually made.
I knew you were full of garbage, but it was funny.
But it is true. Like I do love alliteration, and having 2 D's is better than one.
Hey, this is a safe for work zine.
This is a safe for work zine.
This is a safe.
So those are the only 2 D's you're getting.
That's it. You got nothing. There might be like a tasteful side nipple maybe in there, but that's it. That's all you get. You got a lot of other cool stuff too. Yeah. So front and back cover. Yeah. Let me jump to the next thing. Thea, we should talk about how this project ties in with the Trevor Project. So go off, Queen.
Yeah. So, when we were taking applications, and when we started this project, the biggest thing is that we wanted it to be a charity project, because our community gives so much, and we want to be able to give back. And when we started applications, one of the questions we asked was for suggestions of what charities people would want to support. And by far, the majority of the recommended charities were LGBTQ plus organizations, which is very near and dear to our hearts, since our community is a huge part of the LGBTQ plus community, and then when you include the YV stories, there are always stories about acceptance and love and loving no matter who the person is and being able to support those people no matter what, as well as a lot of ties about found family, which I know most of us in the LGBTQ plus community also relate to very deeply. And we specifically went with the Trevor Project. It's a very well-known LGBTQ plus organization. It's proven itself time and time again for being a trustworthy organization to support. And very specifically, it is pretty much the leading national organization in the U.S. for providing crisis intervention and suicide prevention services to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer and questioning youth, mostly targeted to those under 25 who obviously will struggle more to have access to those resources. So all proceeds from the sales of this zine will be donated to the Trevor Project in the name of the YuuriVoice Community. So we hope that even if maybe you're not necessarily interested in the contents of the zine, you're interested in helping us make a bigger donation to this organization.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm trying not to cry right now. I was like, oh no, this slide's gonna make me cry. It's good. It's so good. Okay. I'm gonna jump to the next slide before I have more of an emotion. Okay, let's talk about the content of the zine. So in addition to the various art, crafts, and cosplay from 45 contributors in our community, and if you want to see sneak peeks of some of the contributor art, please go follow us at Team YuuriVoice, all one word, Team YuuriVoice on Twitter. We have been retweeting previews that our contributors have been posting. So we have a whole feed. We also have the list of contributors that are part of this project. So feel free to take a look at the Twitter account and take a look at those. We have a lot of great people on board for this. Let's talk about what's inside besides that. So we have an acknowledgements section and 2, it's a BOGO, not 1, but 2 original stories written by Yuri. And they're really good. And I really want you to read them. Also, for the OCs, we have character sheets with much sought after information, such as canonical heights. What? Holy shit! Canonical heights? They're not all 9 feet tall? What? And there's other facts as well, and it's really fun. So I hope you will see that. And from here on out, if somebody asks, "How tall is that boy?" Go get that zine.
Go get the zine.
We're only going to tell you to get the zine. We will never answer that question again.
Heights. Shut the front door, y'all. We also have some fun extras, which I'm not gonna spoil. And some love from Team YuuriVoice within and without, actually. And also, most importantly, I think, our undying gratitude. And also, I will be involved in fulfilling and shipping these zines. So maybe you can take away the knowledge that I may have licked one of the zines and you don't know which one it is.
We will try to stop Stu from licking his zine.
Okay, I won't lick the zine, but I had joked about it on a previous stream, and people were like, what?
Also, you're absolutely going to get some cat hair.
Oh, yeah, there will be. It'll be somebody's cat.
Like, I cannot guarantee that zines won't go out with, like, little cat paw prints on the cover. Like, that might occur.
It'll either be Prompto hair or Momiji or Mochi hair.
And definitely no licking. Absolutely none. Just will never happen. I will not do that.
We're going to look over and Thu's just like taking a bite out of those zine.
Thu was just munched on.
Oh, man.
That's leftover sales, and we'll be like, damaged in shipping. And it's all just zines that Thu's licked.
I just licked them all. Licked them all.
Before we proceed, one fun fact. Toshi used to munch the pin bubble mailers before I shipped them. So people have literally received munched product from me before.
Oh my gosh. All right, we'll try to control the cats and also myself. All right. Oh, Yuri, next up. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Oh gosh. Okay, I don't think the chat's ready though. I don't think the chat's ready for the next slide. Y'all. It is a prose preview with a reading from Mr. Voice.
All right, this is from Finn's section. Finn hung his head, closing his eyes tight as if to hide away from the portals before him, fearing that one day someone may peer through them like a window and see the truth. The truth that no amount of morality, goodness, or piety could keep a mortal man's hands clean when presented with such power and influence.
Just want to see the chat. And that is just a short excerpt from that story. It's a meaty boy. It's a meaty boy. And like I said, it's a BOGO, y'all. So we got another one for you. You ready?
I am so ready.
Okay.
This is from the bittersweet section. Even though the boys felt so at odds, their wishes were one and the same. Run. Run far away from here and the men that they became, and find the peace and love that they once shared. The walls weren't too tall to scale, but they never learned how to climb. Their journey forward wouldn't be together, and there was little chance that joy awaited them at the end. Their dreams seemed far out of reach, across a gulf of shame and mistakes.
I love it.
So good. And people don't realize these are like one or two sentences in like entire pages
An actual,
of prose.
yes, story, like full stories. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna click the next one. Whew. Okay. Everyone's dying in the chat, but we're gonna talk about zine packages, and you may have seen them already on Twitter, but we're gonna talk about them again. We're gonna discuss pre-orders and the schedule after this as well. So first up, and all these prices are in US dollars, USD. This package is our physical zine package for $25, and it includes a 6x9-inch perfect bound physical copy of the zine. So it's a book. It's a softcover book. As mentioned before, it's going to have the gorgeous cover art from Jackie printed on real sturdy paper with matte lamination. I will explain what matte lamination is. It's pretty fucking cool. It gives this really nice, elegant, sophisticated finish. It provides a softer, natural look without that glaring shine. So it's not super glossy. It fits the vibe of our zine, and the art's kind of soft. And also the matte lamination, while it protects the artwork on the cover, it also has a very slight velvety texture. So it just feels very nice. It's tactile and high-end feeling finish, and it's really cool. The zine is 70 pages of content. As mentioned, we do have arts and crafts and cosplay from various contributors in our community, those original works, the OC stuff, and some bonus materials, which are a surprise, just for fun.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. And then next up, Thea, if you want to talk about our digital version.
Yeah. So obviously, if we have a physical version, not everybody necessarily wants or needs a physical version. So we are selling a digital PDF copy of the zine for $15 USD. Obviously, it includes the cover art from both covers from Jackie, all 70 pages of contents, with everything that you mentioned before. There will also be some sneaky little bonus PDF materials that we are very excited about, but no one knows what they are.
There's one person in this chat.
There's one person. Knows. One person knows what those bonuses are.
Don't say anything.
But besides that, it's just us. Yeah, and so you'll get a link to a download, where you will be able to download the zine as a PDF to carry it with you always.
Good stuff. If Perp asking the right questions, will the digital version be licked by me? If I can figure out a way to do that, I don't know, maybe. Like, when we send it out, there's going to just be one copy that just has a tongue emote in the email. Don't question it. All right, next package is the physical and digital. So everything we said before, all in one package. We figured, hey, if you bought a physical version, but you also want the PDF, we're going to discount the PDF. So it's $30 total, and you get all the stuff listed in the previous two packages. Eat the digital zine. I will not do that. And then our last package, really fun stuff. Yeah, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, so we have and I'm gonna say this word a bunch, limited quantity package that includes a signed copy of the zine, signed by YV, very specifically signed by Yuri, the digital PDF copy of the zine, Um, a limited edition headphones recommended enamel pin, which is a Patreon exclusive pin that came out years ago. So if you weren't a patron a few years ago to get this pin, you can get it now. Um, as well as all of the extra little PDF materials and physical materials that were in the other packages.
Huzzah!
But yes, this one's limited. We only have so many of these that we're selling.
Yep.
All right. And then I think next up we've got the schedule. What and when? Where, who? Where am I? I wasn't even supposed to be here today. I don't know. Schedule.
Did
All
I say
times.
that package was $40? If I didn't, that package is $40.
It's $40. It's $40. You heard it here. Schedule. All times are U.S. Central Time Zone for this. So, first up, pre-orders. It's today. At the end of this stream, we will share a storefront link. It'll also be posted on social media and all that fun stuff. But it's today. It's today, y'all. You can order today. And pre-orders close. So your window of opportunity is going to be through midnight, September 12th.
So
Yeah.
just about a month.
Yeah. So that's when you can get this stuff. And we are planning to ship the zines, the physical copies, late September. We're targeting a particular date, but that is pending, of course, if there's any production issues, any issues with getting things on time from the printer, our shipping materials, and all that. We're being pretty conservative about ordering those things early as we can. But if there are any changes to that date, we will let you guys know. In particular, I recommend following that Team YuuriVoice account on Twitter. We will be posting all information there as we go about this. Yeah. Digital zines. So the plan for the digital copies is to send those out 2 weeks after we ship the physical zines, and this is so that everybody roughly gets their copies of the zine at the same time. Yep.
We want to make sure that people who buy physical only will have the opportunity to not get the content spoiled for them.
Correct. And leftover sales, we already had questions about this. It really depends. We will announce that later. So we're going to order some extra books to kind of cover things. There might be damaged product. We don't know. But if there are going to be leftover sales after the main sales period, we will announce those things on the Team YuuriVoice Twitter. So keep an eye out for that if you missed the main sales window. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Frequently asked questions, things that you probably care about. At least I hope you care about it. Let's dive in. This is gonna be a combination of we're just gonna talk through things. So first up, who's in charge of this project? Who can we contact? I don't know. I don't even know why I'm here. So this project is led by Thea and myself, Thulu. People call me Thu. That's totally cool. At Team YuuriVoice. So for all inquiries, contact us. We have this email address, or we have a contact form that will be on the store as well. When we post the link to the store, you can use that as well. Or we can take a moment to kind of talk about our responsibilities on this project. So Thea, take it away. What the hell do you do?
I don't know.
Hello.
Yeah, so very I have been up front. I've been in charge of pretty much all of the communication between the team and our contributors. They get too many emails and Google Forms from me. But that's how I operate. So I've done most of the talking to them, organizing what we need from them, making sure we got everything from them. From applications all the way through what we're doing right now, which is making sure they're all credited properly in the zine. I did like the research for our charities, as well as I am the person who had to do all of the work about figuring out what shipping is like.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
That is a task.
I was so happy. I cannot express to you all how, because I used to work in fulfillment in another life a long time ago, and it's a lot of brain work, and I was working on other stuff, and Thea was like, "Yeah, I got the ship," and I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah. Yeah, I did work for our visual storefront, and then figuring out shipping and crying because
All the
shipping stuff
crying.
outside of the US is a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
But we
so
figured it out.
busy beans all around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
what did you do?
I don't know. I was kind of like secondary helping with questions in Twitter, but really I left that to Thea most of the time because that's her bag. But mainly I was involved with working through designs and layouts for the zine and kind of coming up with kind of the graphics side of the house. Updating, setting up the storefront, setting up the product images, like any like graphics related stuff outside of, the actual art that we got from contributors. But yeah, a lot of design layout work. Mostly gonna be doing a lot of stuff around the physical fulfillment of the zines and all that.
Do make
yeah.
shit look good.
I try. I try. Yeah. And yeah, just generally memeing on things. That's what I do. I try to make people laugh with my dumb jokes when they're stressed. So that's my job. Yeah. And all right. This came up earlier, and we just added this question today.
YV there, giving us the permission and emotional support.
Yes, yeah, I love it's like it's your zine, but it's like, oh, he didn't do it. No, he did a lot. He wrote. He was there for the whole process. He was there for all our mental breakdowns, and just being a kick-ass dude, and all of that.
and he did the thank yous to us earlier, but big thanks to Whitey for letting us run with this project because it's definitely been a passion project for Thu and I. But we would not have been able to do something like this if Yuri didn't support us completely and trust us with his brand to be able to make something that, we all can be proud of.
It's true. He's a good. He's a good.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay. I'm going to talk about the no smut. Does this zine contain not safe for work content? Nah.
No.
It does not contain not safe for work content.
No.
I think there's like one tasteful side nipple, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that.
I think I know one boy does not have a shirt on.
There's one boy without a shirt, but it's tastefully done. What do I need to do if I need to change my order? As mentioned before, we have an email address. We have a contact form that goes to that email. So if you have any change requests, like, you need to cancel or change your address or any sort of issues or concerns or questions, whatever, send them to the email or through the contact form. Preferably, if you have an order number, please include that so we can figure out what's going on with it. I sent an email. How long is it going to take for us to get a response? We're a small operation. We're going to do our best. We're shooting for 24 to 48 hours for a response. So please have some patience, but we're pretty prompt with our responses in general so far. So we're looking to keep that going. Yeah.
Which one of us is tied to our computer that day?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Or our phones, which is always. Yeah, catch me in the bathroom answering emails.
Dude, no. Don't admit it. Don't admit it.
Now they've peeked behind the curtain and they've seen the void.
No.
Yeah. Freaking other stuff. Shipping. Thea, just give this to you. How are the shipping fees determined?
Crying.
Crying. Lots of crying.
So shipping fees were determined. We have chosen our vendor for shipping costs already. So I was able to work with them to kind of isolate shipping zones basically by country or by geographical area, and figure out based off of how much the average package is going to weigh, what the size of the package is going to be with shipping materials and everything, and then base costs of what all that'll be, and I had numbers were spit back to me, and that is how we've done it by kind of zones. Like, for example, there's like America, Canada, Australia, most of Europe are in the same shipping zone. Different part, like South America and Central America are their own shipping zones. So it's done by that. So what should happen when you are ordering, what'll happen is it should just automatically, based off of what country you're in, fill in the what it should cost. I think I'm just checking real quick. This will be the spot to say it. For international shipping, I'm sorry, it's not. We can't do much about the prices, especially based off of with the way with things like COVID is. So, I'm sorry.
To be fair, it is comparably priced to other things of we're trying to be very fair. It's not a markup that we're doing at all.
Yeah, like the shipping price is purely what it costs to ship the zine to you. We didn't increase it or anything like that. It's just, unfortunately, this what it costs to ship stuff out of the US right now. Which is why we made a big point to make sure that we had a digital only version of the zine. So that we didn't have to worry about that. So that if people don't want to pay for shipping, you have the ability to get that.
Yeah. I'm gonna pop this up too. Where are your zines dispatched from? Tejas.
Tejas.
Secret location in Texas. In the US. Yeah, that's why US-based shipping is going to be a less costly thing. Yeah, do you ship internationally? I know you just talked about it.
Yes, we do. Yeah, like I said, we should have covered all of the shipping zones. If you, for some reason, are somewhere that isn't a shipping zone, you will get an error when you go to check out. If you get that error, email us immediately, and I will go through and I will set up a shipping zone for you. So that we can get to you. The one big thing about shipping internationally, though, I'm going to stress this. If your country has special customs taxes and stuff that are put on it when it arrives, that is not covered by your shipping costs. We don't physically have a way to calculate that. And most of those, that is also, we just don't have access to what all of those custom taxes are, or those import-export taxes are. So if something shows up for some reason, and that'll have to be handled on your end.
Yep. Pretty standard fare, I think. Okay. Next up. When will orders be shipped? We talked about this in the schedule a little bit, but we're aiming for late September. And again, we will update if there's any change with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once shipped, how long will it take? If you want to talk to that, Thea.
Yeah.
I just popped them both up on the screen.
Yeah, so we're using USPS first class priority or something like that. So in the US, they estimate 1 to 3 days, depending on where you are. Obviously, with COVID and the shortages that the USPS has, might take a little longer. Like said on the slide, if you haven't gotten your package in 3 weeks and you're in the US, let us know and we'll try to figure out the delay. International, we are estimating 2 to 3 weeks. But if it's taken If it's been 4 to 5 weeks and you haven't heard anything, email us and we'll investigate. Everyone should receive a tracking number once your product has shipped, so you should be able to stalk it.
That's what I do whenever
That's
someone
what
ships
I
my
do.
stuff. Like, who?
It's like, ooh.
Who? All right. Next up. Oh, well, you get a tracking number. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When will the PDF version be delivered? If you missed it, it will be sent 2 weeks after we ship physical zines, so that everyone roughly gets their copy of the zine at the same time. Yeah. And I saw this question come up in the chat earlier. Can I donate to the Trevor Project without purchasing zine? I also saw a question about, can I put more money on the zine purchase? We don't have the ability to do that with our storefront. So if you do want to make an additional donation, we ask that you just go to trevorproject.org, click their donate link, and just go nuts. It doesn't need to be under our project name or anything like that. We just don't have the ability with limitations on our storefront to do that.
If you really, really, really want it to be a part of this like the big donation, buy PDFs for your friends.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Good call. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna bop over to. It's Q&A time. Now's your time to let us know. I don't have an easy way to pull up that spreadsheet, so if you want to dictate what the questions were there, and then feel free to ask questions in the chat, and we will try to capture those as well. I don't really have an easy way to do the spreadsheet.
Thank you. The first one was, where do I buy this zine? Give us a few minutes, and we will drop the link. The link will be posted on the Team YuuriVoice Twitter account, the YuuriVoice Twitter account, the YuuriVoice Community pages, and anywhere we can shove it.
Yep.
We will make sure people have the link.
Mm-hmm.
The other one's already been answered. I'm gonna say this: we're not gonna be answering questions about YV content. We're not gonna be answering questions about Bittersweet or anything like that. That's not the purpose of this stream. Beyond Ultra asks, not sure if this was really answered, but can you order after pre-order times are over? And the answer to that question is yes and no. For physical zines, the physical book, the only way to purchase it after pre-orders is if we have leftover sales. And that is a big if. That'll be dependent on if we have any extras. And it also depends on if there are leftover sales. A lot of times they may be zines that are quote unquote damaged or just not up to our quality standards. But for the PDF of the zine will be evergreen. You will be able to get it once we have emailed the PDF out. We will be moving the PDF from our storefront here. It'll get put onto the Teespring shop, and then you can buy it whenever from Teespring. But the big note about that is if you buy it off of Teespring when it goes there, it will not go to the Trevor Project. The cherry part of the zine is through the pre-orders. So that's just the thing to note. But yes, you will be able to get a PDF copy of the zine after pre-orders.
Yeah, there's questions in the chat, but I didn't know if you had what you have on the spreadsheet. So
yeah, spreadsheet's pretty caught up to.
Okay, cool.
For Vitaly Shell asks if there's how much it'll be costing in, I'm guessing that's Canadian
Yep.
dollars. I don't have that that thing in my head. My best thing to say is we have posted on Twitter what the packages are and what they cost, um and I would
And
just go translate it yourself because
yeah,
we do
I have
everything
it.
in USD. Um and
Purchases are through PayPal, and I believe I didn't test this, but I believe when you do make your purchase through PayPal, it'll show your translation to your dollar
yes.
type or your currency type.
Okay, that is a good point. Payment on the site is through PayPal only.
Hmm.
That's so you should be able to use a credit card through PayPal.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah, but you do have to have a PayPal account.
um,
Um,
and yeah, so Violet Fry asked if all major credit card debit cards accepted. They should be through PayPal. Um, that's we didn't see any issues with that. Um,
Thank you, Air Regulus. I thought that it did because I've purchased a lot of things from international currencies and it's always translated USD for me. But thank you for validating that. Um, oh, that's a good
um,
question, Skella.
what?
Well, Skella had a couple of good questions. The latest one was, will the contributors' zines be signed?
If I'm
That's a question for Yuri.
Yuri will sign their
They
zines.
can be if y'all want them to be.
Yeah.
We never even thought about asking if you guys wanted that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
We
I don't
will
mind.
even lick yours.
I will. Oh, I will lick it for filth. Oh, okay. And then let's see.
um,
Beyond Ultra about the damaged items. Yeah, if they were damaged scenes, if we do have them and we do leftover sales, absolutely, we would discount those. We're not going to sell you a damaged product for the full price.
nah.
That's not cool. And then depending on the level of damage, we'll determine a fair price for it.
Yeah, well, that'll be a. That's why the leftover sales is big TBD because we don't
Yeah,
know
we
what
just don't
prices are or
know.
anything.
Yeah, and there's probably going to be intact product as well. Because the plan would be we know how many prayers we have, but order like a certain percentage above that to cover shipping issues, shenanigans, whatever. Yeah. So we'll probably have intact things too. But yeah, big TBD.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So this is an older question, uh, less related to the nitty gritty. But Stella asked if there was any. What are some of the
Hmm.
things we all learned from this?
Yeah, a lot.
So much, and what would we do differently? What we
Oh,
would do differently? It would not just be me and Thu running it.
for one, number
For
one.
what?
This is kind of a litmus test too, because we didn't really want to fumble a whole team through trying to figure stuff out, and we're both manic, so we just were like, let's just figure this out. Um, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of little things. Like I think more clarity around art submission guidelines, and that's more of if for more if for more physical print work, if we do that in the future, putting things like safety space and stuff on the images, because questions did come up, but since we didn't have a printer nailed down right at the beginning, I just gave like my best answer, but it wasn't super scientific. So yeah, just better information around art submission guidelines, in terms of contributor credits, like tightening that up a little bit so it's not kind of like willy-nilly, let's credit all the things. Um, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of small things. Like thankfully we haven't really hit any huge hiccups that I remember. Thea, do you think?
No, I
It's been
think
pretty alright because I think it helps that we know people that have run zine projects, so we've had some people we could consult. Um, but yeah.
yeah. And like most of my things are like on the communication front. Like it's one of those like learn to need to figure out how best to because obviously we were working with 45 people who were not a part of the team that are
Mhm.
a part of the zine. So it's one of those like how do we best convey that information and stuff? How do we make sure we have access to these people all the time? Because sometimes we run into a point where we may need information but can't hear from somebody for 4 or 5 days.
Right.
Um, which is like yeah, so there's different things about that. But it's like it's mostly just on mechanics of how to organize ourselves better.
Yeah, I think if this project goes well, and I hope it does, so far it's been pretty good. If we decide to do projects like this in the future, I think a takeaway would be coming up with a theme up front for things. In this case, we wanted a cross section, so it made sense to like get a little bit of everything. But in the future, maybe if we do themed zine works, or being able to say like here's the vibe, here's the feel we're going for, or the theme, I think would help contributors a lot. So that's just another takeaway too for future stuff.
Fantasia asks, if this goes well and we get a second zine happens, could both old and new contributors who have applied for this one apply again? Yeah, like we're obviously priority would probably go to showcasing people who would be who weren't featured in this one. But also like obviously depends on interests, but we would love we want people to want to be part of this. So we're not gonna be like, oh, you applied, you can't apply next time. Nah.
Right. Yep.
I'm gonna skip this one up quickly.
Yeah.
If you don't have PayPal, are you able to use debit? You should be, even without a PayPal account. You should be able to just purchase as a guest on PayPal and put in your debit card.
Yeah,
you do not have
pass through.
Yeah, you don't have to use a PayPal account. You just the processing site that we're using to process payments is PayPal.
Yeah, that's a good clarification. Thank you. Yeah, there are pass-through for this. Because we did investigate using Stripe to take credit card payments and things directly, but we're essentially going to dox ourselves if we do that, and I'm not cool with that. So PayPal it is, my friends.
We already have access to PayPal for business purposes, so that's what we're using.
Darby asked a good question, and I don't... one of those is in the zine. Do I say which one?
No. Okay, so if you want to go back and look back at when we announced the zine, if a character was not announced when we announced the zine, they are not in it.
Yeah.
That is just, if they did not have a video yet when we announced when the zine was happening, they're not in the zine.
Yep, that's a good answer. Know about them. I was like, I don't want to say, because I don't want to say, what all character seats. I want you guys to find out. It's a surprise.
But yeah, no, just the rule of thumb is that they're not, if they weren't released yet, they're not in it. It's just
yeah, and thank you, Dusty, for just reiterating that. Yeah, PayPal is our pass-through. You don't have to have a PayPal account. You just have to use PayPal when you enter your information. It'll be like a little pop-up duber.
So someone had asked, do you have a favorite piece of art? All of them.
They're so good. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Don't make us choose a favorite child.
You can't do that.
It's great. That to us. And the wonderful thing is that if you get the zine, you don't have to pick a favorite because you have them all.
You have them all.
You have them all.
I just remember, so when we had the whole vetting process, so Thea and I did the initial pass of all the art and making decisions, and that was so hard. That was so hard to go like, okay, these are the ones that we want art from and that. But then when we got all the art back and we sat down and like as we were just going through everyone's art, it was just like progressive round robin of screams. Just, oh, look at that! Look at that! And just going through all the art, and then we got Yuri in on it, and it was just like, ah!
Yeah, like
it's like wonderful. I'm so blown away.
I want to reiterate for those who submitted and weren't necessarily accepted to the zine, it was not because of the quality of your art. We ran into a problem when we were selecting contributors of the thing of we have to be choosy about only having so many pieces of art that fit in certain styles.
Right.
Like we were trying to like showcase a bunch of different styles of work, a bunch of different styles of creation. And then it would be one of those things where we'd look at we would line people up and go, oh my god, these are all great, but they're all similar art style. We can't have so it became a struggle of like being like, what is going to fit thematically in the zine.
Yeah, and I think because we were talking about maybe future projects, and a lot of it is the limitation of print is the more content you need to print, the more costly your book is. And this is our first time doing this. So we didn't want to do just an absolutely gigantic zine and then coordinating all of that communication. It's a pretty meaty boy. Like, let's be fair, it's 70 pages. But we had to draw a line somewhere in the sand. But for future projects, if we do like just all digital or mini zines or whatever, there will be opportunities to get featured, I believe. But that's a TBD. We got to figure it out. Let's get through this first one and go from there.
We have ideas. We just
so many ideas.
We just need to see if the money backs them.
Yep.
Which is the unfortunate part of doing fun projects like this. We have to have something to back it.
Yep.
So a bunch of people have asked something similar to this. What did we like most of the zine? What was like the most challenging thing to do, etc., etc.
A most challenging thing. I had to learn InDesign. That was a challenge. I had only used InDesign like once or twice in a past life. So yeah, we used InDesign for the zine layout stuff. Like for me, that was a learning curve to learn an entirely new piece of software. But it is a piece of software that is made for this purpose. And yeah. So learning that was a challenge. All the communication, I know Thea, this is more on Thea's thing, but even like the communications that I help with, it's a lot. It's a lot. And then tracking expenses and tracking all this information so that, the dollars are going the right places and we're allocating things correctly. And there's also fun things with, like, from my side of the house, I had to license a number of things, like licensing fonts and licensing assets for the zine and trying to figure that out and doing cost analysis on that stuff too. Because usually I don't, even with the video editing projects, if we have special things or special graphics that get generated, I don't like to use just like basic fonts. I license things for that stuff. So there's always like this cost benefit thing that happens. Yeah, and then just the whole like just setting everything up. And then our storefront, we were familiar with it from the consumer side of the house, but never working on the back end. So like setting up a whole storefront from a site, from a company you've never used in that capacity before, that was interesting. So it's just a lot of learning, like learn about this thing, learn about that thing. Yeah.
I think the most challenging part was just not, because like they said, all of us are familiar with zines from the consumer end.
Not the back end.
There is so much that goes into it on the back end. Yeah. And there's so much that goes into it on the back end that like will never see the light of day. People don't know about it. They don't see it. So it's just like, it's one of those things of like, oh gosh, how do I like explain all of this? Or like, it's like people, we got a lot of questions of like, do we have zine updates? Do we have zine updates? And it's like, we don't have like the big shiny flashy zine updates. We have zine updates in the thing of, we got a storefront. We figured out how we're going to ship things. We figured out what, shipping costs or what the lead time for ordering shit is. So it's like, I think the most challenging bit was like trying to keep engagement up with it.
Yeah.
Because this is a big project for us and we want it to be engaged with.
Yeah. And I think that's we talked about takeaways earlier for future things. I think now that we have the experience, just better and more communication, more information getting out there. Because even I noticed people kind of just like the little behind the scenes tidbits and shenanigans. So like giving those little updates along the way too. But that would be much easier accomplished with a larger team. So it just goes back into having like a bigger team on the project for future stuff.
I know this was a joke, Ren, but there's actual an answer for this. Because Ren put future innocent W. So the thing with that, if we did that, it would never be a physical zine because
Yep.
most physical printers will not print that for you.
Correcto.
And I'm not willing to do the legwork to figure out what printers are willing to print that content.
Yeah. I think the printer we used actually will do that. So, thoughts, but digital would be way easier for any of that. So,
but it would be a digital thing.
Yeah.
Emo Child, we are talking about the release of pre-orders for the YuuriVoice Community zine titled "A Dance with Dreams."
It's to benefit the Trevor Project. It's good.
Yeah.
Put that good energy into the world.
Does anyone? I think we're caught up on questions that I can see. Anyone else have a question related to
any other questions?
Related to the zine, related to pre-orders?
Ooh, while more questions come in, challenging and fun part for me is one and the same. I have not written proper prose in years. It's hard for me, even though it used to be my actual, like, my main creative outlet. It was tough. It was really tough because I didn't know what I was gonna write. Like, I didn't go, oh yeah, I know exactly what's gonna go there. I had to actually think about it and figure out what was gonna be the vibe for everything I was gonna do. And that was really tough. It was like pulling teeth at first, but whenever I actually got to where I was going with it, is also the most fulfilling part for me, because I'm actually really proud of how it turned out. Normally, the times where I've tried to write stuff over the past couple of years, I've been very unhappy with how that went. But I looked at this and I'm like, oh, you know what? This is actually quite good. So, I'm excited. I'm very excited because there's actually some, like, very lore relevant things. Very, very fun things that you'll get some insight into before anyone else if you get the zine. So
True.
It's
true.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Like Yuri wrote it, and because we have a doc that we put all the written stuff in, and Thu read it before I did because I was busy, and Thu kept going. Thu kept every like few days kept going. Thea, have you read it yet? Mm-hmm. Hey, Thea, you should read this. Hey,
I was
Thea,
trying
you
to
should read
be,
this.
I was trying to be low key about it because it was so behind the scenes stuff. It's a whole proofreading process, right? So we have a doc. He wrote the things. I went through, did a proofread, commented on things. Like there was even parts where I highlighted. I'm like, I love this. Like it wasn't even like, oh, changes. It was like, I just love this. And I was dying for Thea to read it. So I was approaching. I was like, hey, Thea, I need a second. Can you please like do the second proofread? I was trying to be like really low key about it. And then I was like, bitch, just read this, please.
Oh, there was
so good.
There was one bit that like I think it was the only thing I commented on the Discord because I read it and then I went full simp. And I was like, oh.
Oh. Yeah. Thea, you got to read this for no particular reason right this second. It wasn't even like right. It was like over the course of like a week and a half or something. I'm like, please, I'm dying. A crumb for your attention. Or a crumb of your attention, please. Yeah, it was a good time. But yeah, we have a lot of we our behind the scenes stuff is like a lot of Discord chatty chats, a lot of sharing things through Google Docs and whatnot, and yeah, it's all kinds of fun stuff going on.
Me still making forms.
All the forms, yeah. It's funny because I remember way back when I was like, forms, man, Google Forms, that's the way, it's the future. And now it's like all Google Forms all the time. But they're good. So nice. They're great because you can export everything to a spreadsheet, so it makes things really easy to track. Yeah.
I don't know if we actually answered it. Did any of us answer what our favorite part of the zine was?
Not yet. I was just yeah. How about we go reverse order? Yuri, what's your favorite part?
I mean, it's tough.
I know.
The fulfilling part was actually completing the writing and being proud of what I wrote. But there's also those character info sheets. When I was doing it, I was like, this is going to be really boring if they're all like played straight, like in terms of, oh, it's just a little info thing. So the first one, like the last entry is ideal date, but then they get progressively more and more like different. And doing that one was just for my own benefit because I was like, how do I make this fun for me? And I really love how that turned out in particular. So
yeah, I'll give a little tidbit there too. I remember at one point Yuri was like, does it all have to be like that specific thing? I was like, oh no, go off, do whatever you want, that is your free space, my friend.
And off he went.
And off he went. Yeah, there's some really fun stuff that's gonna happen with that. Theo, what was your favorite part?
Talking to all the contributors.
Yeah,
We have, and I mean, we've said it multiple times before, our community is freaking awesome. So it was just really fun to be able to chat with people and see everything that they could make and just see the creative power that our community has and like how much, because like the team, we love this stuff. We love the product that is made. We love everything that is created, but it's nice to see that passion reflected in the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. We really have. We could not do anything like this without all of the love and dedication from all of you, and that's really heartwarming and awesome. It's a very good feeling. Yeah, I think that's like pretty much was my same vibe too. Is that I just love talking to everybody and seeing what they come up with. So I'll just add another thing that I absolutely loved, and this is like a like self-centric, but actually taking everyone's stuff and doing like going through the whole iterative process of laying out the zine in InDesign and then working with Yuri and Thea and like, hey, look at this, what do you think? Hey, look at this, what do you think? And like picking their brains and getting ideas and just making it better and better and better. And like every time I export a copy to look at it, it's just wonderful to look at it and just go, wow, look at what we've made. This is so cool. It is so cool. So it's nice to be able to have something right in front of you, a tangible thing, and even more so once we get physical copies in. Like, wow, this is a thing that we did with all of you all, and it's wonderful. Very wholesome stuff. Yeah.
Also, Thu and I and you're living in silly little stuff in the zine.
Yeah. But you have to get it to see. You have to get it to see. Don't spoil it.
like I literally made Thu add pages for something.
Oh no, yeah, like that one. Some people already know what we did there, but it's like just we're a bunch of meme lords at the end of the day. We like to have fun. Yeah, immaculate. That's right, Libby.
Do we have any more questions that are like? Let's go with like direct questions about like the process of the storefront, ordering the zine, etc. Otherwise, we're gonna need to start dropping links.
I
just want to make sure we answer those questions if someone has them.
Yeah.
All the FAQ questions that were on this presentation are on the storefront.
Correct. Yeah, there's also an about section that talks about what we're doing here in the Trevor Project, and they all have off-site links to Twitter account and the Trevor Project and all that stuff for your convenience as well. Yep.
And also, like I said, there's an email account. You could email us if you have questions. As well as the store has its own contact us form that will send to the email. And this video should stay up immediately once the stream goes down, so you can rewatch it.
Yeah. I think they want the links. That's the vibe I'm seeing. I'm seeing links.
Let's do it.
Links.
I'm ready to.
Links.
I'm ready.
Oh, y'all, we're about to pull the trigger. Oh God. Ah,
Okay.
pre-orders open now at YuuriVoice.bigcartel.com, baby. So get after it. The store's already up.
Sweet. I'm gonna go.
Remember
Yeah.
that the oops.
There it
Remember
is.
that I deleted the wrong message there. I'm so sorry.
Oh no. It was so. Oh, Metallichel, you were just
I'm so
excited. It was an
You just
accident.
typed so quickly. That's my fault. I have the biggest fat thumbs.
You didn't do anything wrong. Whoops.
Reminder that that $40 package with the signed zine and pin is limited.
Limited, boy. So if you want it, get after
If
it.
you want it, get it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love when the link isn't a link. Okay, it's a link now.
There it goes.
All right. I'm excited.
I am too. Yeah. If you want more updates, follow the Team YuuriVoice Twitter account.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna wrap it up here, folks. Yeah. Hit that site. If you have any questions, the email or the contact form.
Yes, we eagerly await to see if the site burns, if the site breaks.
I also can't wait to lick a zine. No, I won't do that. I promise.
I gotta go post it all across all across my stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for coming out. Thank you for supporting the Trevor Project with us. I can't wait to get this into your hands and into your eyeballs. Yeah. So thank you. Thanks for all the questions. Hope we answered everything you needed to know. And yeah, take care of yourselves.
Yay.
Goodbye for now.
Bye.